coalition in Iraq and Syria has just issued a statement about these strikes in the vicinity of Green Village in Syria. Can I ask you some details? What kind of strikes did the coalition launch against these suspected sites? Was it U.S. strikes? Were U.S. forces at risk? And who do you believe the adversaries were? Were they regime forces? Were they Iranian-backed militia? Were they ISIS? Can you tell us any more about this? The statement is not very
I don't have a lot of satisfying detail for you, Barb, and I would certainly point you to Central Command to provide more information. My understanding is that these strikes were not airstrikes, if that's what you're asking. Your second question about were troops at risk, I assume what you mean is, were they put at risk in the conduct of the strikes?
No.
But they clearly are at risk in the region. I mean, one of the reasons why these sites were hit was we had reason to believe that they were going to be used as launch sites for attacks on Green Village. So clearly our men and women remain in harm's way, and we have to take that threat very seriously. We always have the right of self-defense. I'm sorry, and you had a third.
And then I do have a different quick question. Who do you believe the adversary was?
I'm not at a position now to get into specific attribution. That said, we continue to see threats against our forces in Iraq and Syria by militia groups that are backed by Iran. But again, I don't have specific attribution on who was responsible for these specific sites. Again, this all just recently happened. I'm sure more context will be available as we learn more. And I absolutely refer you to Central Command for any additional detail that I don't have today.
Different subject very quickly. We have all watched the images of this incredible traffic jam, if that's what it is, on I-95. Not that far from the Pentagon, where many military people commute up and down, stranded overnight, some getting out, but many still stranded. I think a lot of people might be curious whether the Pentagon, the Defense Department, has offered any help, has been asked for help. You have a Marine Corps base right there.
Sure.
People are wondering why the military can't lend a hand.
Well, first of all, as so many of us here at the Pentagon are commuters and commute along that stretch of I-95, we're all watching it with the same interest that everybody else is too, and our thoughts and concerns go out to all those who remain stuck on the highway with these weather conditions. I know of no. Well, let me put it this way. There's been no request made of the Pentagon, of the active duty military, to respond in any way to this jam on I-95. And I know of no overt efforts here at the Pentagon to make an overt offer or to get involved in any way. I think the governor of Virginia addressed this morning when he was specifically asked about whether he was going to call the National Guard out. He said he did not see a need to do that at this time. What I am aware of is that the Virginia National Guard, their leadership, has been in touch with state and local authorities, emergency authorities, to have that conversation. But as far as I know, there's been no demand signal by the state of Virginia for any military assistance whatsoever. Yep, here.
I think we are starting a new chapter in Iraq, and there is a new mission for the U.S. soldiers in there. How concerned are you that those soldiers are under attack from militias that are pro-Iranians?
We have consistently been concerned about the threats to our forces in Iraq by militias backed by Iran. That is not a new concern. And I think we've seen in just the last few days that there have been acts perpetrated by some of these groups that validate the consistent concern that we've had over the safety and security of our people. But you're right, the mission has now formally changed to one of advise and assist, as we promised and as we worked out with our Iraqi hosts, and we still believe it's a valid mission, and we look forward to continuing to conduct it. But to my question, to my answer to Barb, I do want to just foot stomp one notion, and that is that our commanders have the inherent right of self-defense. And we don't stay at this mission, this new mission, with any illusions that our people are under any less threat by these militia groups. We're going to stay focused on that threat as we stay focused on the mission at hand and make sure that we're doing everything we can to protect our people. Janie.
Thank you.